Hi guys, hi, how's it going? How y'all doing today? Hopefully today finds you well. Today I am doing my October update for Deck of Panning. This is a project that was created by Emily here on YouTube. She goes by Emily and Max, and it is a fantastic game that so many of us play. All you need to play is a deck of cards, the game board that Emily creates and shuffles every single month, and your beauty collection, and she puts you on a playlist and all the things, and it's just super fun. I know that most of you who are watching this have already experienced this deck of panning video before in the past, so I'm not going to go a whole heck of a lot into the explanation. It is all listed down in my description box for you, but we are only 2 episodes from the finale, and I'm really hoping that we carry this through into next year. It's such a fun game. This is my, I think, 3rd or 4th year playing it, and Emily is like 5th year doing it or something like that, and we just all have so much fun doing it. So I'm here to do deck of panning, and if that sounds like something you're interested in, please keep on watching. For those of you new here, hi, my name is Donna, lover of all things high and colorful beauty and self-care, and ultimately this is my self-care. I love coming out here talking to you about the good, the bad, the ugly, all the things that are coming into my collection and leaving my collection as it pertains to beauty, namely like the makeup-y things, and I'm kind of a kick in the pants to hang out with, so I hope that you love the video, love me enough that you want to subscribe before you go. And with that said, let's roll into this deck of panning update for the month of October. Okay, so without wasting a whole lot of time on all of the ins and outs of this game, because it is all explained down in the description box for you, I'm just going to jump right into the products. But before I do that, we changed our hair. We got our hair changed before my son's wedding at the beginning of this month because I didn't want my poor boy to have his mom with hot pink, green, blue, fuchsia hair in his wedding pictures till the end of time. So I did change it to this. I kind of dig it. I honestly thought it was going to make me look real old, but I kind of love it. And we just played off of how my hair had faded with the last color setup. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Honestly, also, I think this lipstick is the absolute wrongest color of lipstick to be wearing with this eye look, but at this point, it's too late, and I do not care. So there's that. Okay, so this game is typically played with a deck of cards, the prompts that are on the game board that Emily gives us, and we pull products out of our collection based on those prompts. It's usually 5 products that are in. Last month, I think I rolled out 4 products, but only rolled back in 2 because I had rolled into the previous month, so I had 7 products going. I'm back down to 5. And that is what we're going to be going over today. I always go from oldest in to newest. So let's start with oldest in, which would have been in May for the 3 of clubs, which in May the 3 of clubs was for spray. And I forgot to mark this. What is wrong with me? Actually, yeah, the mark is pretty dismal. Let's be honest with each other. So for spray, I did pull in the Kayali fragrance. This one is in the fragrance number 28 vanilla. I really did roll this in thinking this was going to be an easy peasy product for me to empty because I have emptied 2 of them in the past, and this one seems to be not emptying as quickly. This is where we're at currently. I think that you guys can see those lines. I was barely able to make a new line this time. I just think I need to put it in my car. I think I say this every time though. The reason why I don't put it in my car is because I used to be able to finish fragrance in that way in the past, but in the past I was traveling a lot. I was in my car a lot more, and I would spray it on myself before I'd walk into a store and spray it in the car before I left the car for the day, so it was nice and fresh in the morning. And that's how I was able to finish fragrance in the past. I don't travel like that anymore, so I just don't get the usage out of this that I thought I was going to be able to get when I rolled this in, because when I rolled it into empty. Here's the true tea. I've used it, I think, 12 times. I've used it 12 times since we rolled it in May, you guys. For reference, that was a long ass time ago. 5 months ago at this point in time. And I feel like I want this to be gone by the end of December. And with this much left and only this much having been used in 12 uses, I don't know that that's going to happen. But this product stays in. It, as it turns out, it should have been my Joker product that I pulled in. But hopefully we'll be done with it by December. I have one item left from a roll-in July. That one was for the 9 of Hearts, and 9 of Hearts in July was for oldest product. And after having gone through all of the products in my spreadsheets to figure out what was the oldest product, this is the one that I ended up choosing. This is the Pretty Vulgar Shimmering Swan highlighter in the shade 41, Glimmers of BS. It is what is on my face today. And I actually quite love this highlight. Having pulled it in here for 9 uses, because I pulled the 9 of Hearts, so I just collaborated those two things together. It reminded me of why I kept and still continue to keep this highlighter through the multiple declutters that I've had in my collection. I did use this 5 times as of the last update. I have used it an additional 4 times this month, with the last time being used being today. And I just really quite love this highlighter. So I'm really glad to have gotten 10 times use out of it, because I feel like with a collection like mine, nothing gets touched very much, right? And especially not 9 times in the last like 3 months. So I'm really happy to have gotten the use out of this and remind myself that this is a really pretty highlight, and there's a reason why I continue to keep it in my collection. But that one will be rolling out. In August, I had rolled in 2. I still have 1 left from that, and that was for the 8 of Clubs, which in August was Gemstone. So I did roll in the Huda Beauty Sapphire Obsessions palette for No Pan Left Behind. I did that for 2 reasons. Number 1, Sapphire is my gemstone for my birthday, because my birthday is in September. And I have a No Pan Left Behind that runs in the background all year long. And, well, we're going on our 2nd year of trying to hit 50% of palette usage in my collection, which is so stupid, but it is what it is. So I rolled this in for No Pan Left Behind, and as of last update, I had only used the 1 shade. As it stands today, I have used all the shades in this palette at least 1 time, which I'm so excited about. I didn't do any blue, all blue eyeshadow looks except for 1. The rest of them were like hit and miss, 1 shade here, 1 shade there, 1 tapped on just to get some use out of it, because I needed to No Pan Left Behind this guy. So maybe I cheated a little bit. I didn't cheat. I used all the shades, but not with passion about using the shades. Blue is just so hard for me to wear in the first place, and I did roll this in August, so blue just wasn't the color that was going to get a whole lot of usage for me in August. I usually love blue eye looks in like the winter time and the very beginning of summer, but not like summer moving into fall. So it was actually pretty difficult for me to get usage out of all 9 of these shades, but I did it. I did it. So this one will also be rolling out, and you will see it again in my No Pan Left Behind coming later this month. Actually, I think it's maybe the next video you guys will see. I'm recording all this today because I've done a really bad job of being a YouTuber lately, so I apologize for that profusely. I know it's going to get better though. Trust me, it will get better. In September, I was able to roll in 2 items. Like I said, in August, I rolled out 4, but because I knew I was finishing up a couple within the next couple of days of having filmed that video, when I was able to roll out 4 in September, I just pulled 2 more just to get me back up to 5, because I don't like having more than 5 products in this project. And with that, I rolled in the Jack of Diamonds, which is a red jack, which is an indie product. So I went ahead and rolled in another palette. I rolled in the Mount Cosmetics Bad Side Zodiac palette. I am, as I said, born in September. I am at the beginning of September on the 4th, and am a Virgo, which is an earth sign, along with Taurus and Capricorn. And this is the perfect epitome of a fall time or earth palette, in my humble opinion. So I rolled this in for No Pan Left Behind as well. It didn't take me nearly as long to use this palette as it did the Huda Beauty Sapphire Obsessions palette. And I was actually done with this palette, No Pan Left Behind, by the 30th of September. It took me 2 whole eye looks to get this used. And then I think this shade I actually popped into a different eye look that I had done with some of the shades from my palette Roulette palette, or maybe it was this shade. I can't remember. One of those I popped into a look with a different palette, but 2 whole looks to complete this No Pan Left Behind. So this palette will also be rolling out of my deck of panning. And then the last product that I rolled in September was for the 10 of Diamonds, and the 10 of Diamonds last month was non-makeup item. And for that, I rolled in the Benefit Professional Hydro Pop. This is a hydrating essence that, honestly, I don't have a whole lot left to finish, but wouldn't you know it, I rolled this in because I don't have a whole lot left to finish and I wanted to empty it, thinking that it would give me the spark I needed to remember to use this every single day, because I use it every day that I'm putting on makeup, but I don't use it on the days that I'm not wearing makeup. And, you know, of course, rolled it in with all the best intentions. And then I think I used it once in the last 30 days. Go from using it every day to using it one time. So you can see the markings are here and then here. How do you go from using something every day and then putting it into a project and then forgetting all about its existence? Like, I just don't know how that happens. So I'm hoping that this will be gone next month. Maybe will for sure be gone by the end of December, and that will make me so happy, because this is an expensive essence, honestly. I think it's $70. I got it in gratis, so I didn't spend any money on it, but it's a wonderful product. I love it. I don't think you can get it anymore, though, because like I said in the last video, every time I go to link it, the link isn't working, or is broken, or I can't find it. But the last time I went to link it, it linked just fine. It was back on the Benefit website. So I don't know what's going on with this product, but it's a wonderful product. I would recommend it. I like it a lot, and I feel like it does do what it's supposed to do for my face. So those are the 5 products that I had in. As you know, we're rolling out 3 products. So that is where the cards come in. For those of you that do not know, these cards are meant to be used to roll in the new prompts based on the game board that Emily makes and shuffles. I always like to go through the cards to see where the Joker was, you guys. The Joker is, what is this, 3 cards from the top of the last month's deck, because I just bring the old cards, put them on the bottom, and then show you where the Joker was. 3 cards. If I had pulled the 4 that actually, these 2 are the 2 that I pulled last month, so I didn't put them on the bottom, I put them on top, which means the Joker was the next card in line, which means if I had pulled the 4 cards, because I had 4 empties but only pulled 2 cards to get myself back to 5, but if I had pulled the 4 cards, I would have had Joker again. That's scary. I'm glad I decided not to. So I typically don't look at the game board before I film. So we're going to look at the game board together. But one thing I will note, and I like to note when I am doing this, is that I don't really talk a lot about what I want or don't want on the board. I do talk about some of the prompts that are on there, but I don't say, oh, I don't want that, or I do want that, because I feel like that jinxes me. Every single time I say I don't want something, I inevitably get it. So I try not to talk about those things, and yeah, I think that's all for housekeeping. I try not to talk about those things. I do shuffle quite extensively, and then I cut the deck on camera, shuffle one more time, and then we pull from the top. So we have 3 cards to pull today. Let's be wishful that we get some good cards. I'm going to shuffle, and here's the game board. I don't love the Oh the Shame category, just because my Oh the Shame category is typically palettes that I haven't used yet that I want to put into my palette roulette series, which is the series that I have on my channel in which I review a palette. I don't like to use them prior to the review, but that is a silly, stupid rule that I have for myself. So I do like getting that on the opposite end of that spectrum. I do like getting that because then I'm actually getting some use out of some of those palettes in my Oh the Shame drawer. I have never had, I do not think I have ever had Represent Another palette or panner. But that's not the one on here. Never mind. I thought Represent Another Project was Represent Another Panner, but it's not. Mocha Mousse would be fun because it's just boring. A boring brown. Which would be the same as Match's eye color. I don't know. I don't know that I... Oh, Match's shirt is on here again. I'm wearing white and kind of like a slatey blue, I guess. What is yummy? I would have to figure out what yummy is. It's probably like a food-oriented product, right? Discontinued would be easy because I have a lot of discontinued items in my collection. So here is our deck. Let's cut the deck. Shuffle one more time. That was a horrible shuffle, just saying. And then the top 3 cards are our cards. So first card, 10 of Hearts, which is Sentimental. 3 of Spades, which is Mocha Mousse. Oh, didn't I tell you? I told you. 5 of Diamonds. Copycat. So Copycat, I know, is about a product that is a dupe of a wish list item. Mocha Mousse is going to be something that is about brown because Mocha Mousse is the Pantone color of the year. So that's what we're going with here. And then the 10 of Hearts is Sentimental. That might be difficult. I don't really... Maybe I have a couple things. All right, I'll be right back. We are back. So, the first card I got, well, I don't know. Which one was the first one? I think the first one was the 10 of Hearts. And the 10 of Hearts is Sentimental. So for the 10 of Hearts, I'm going to bring in my Natasha Denona Lila palette. So this palette is sentimental to me because it was my first Natasha Denona palette ever. And because it was my first Natasha Denona palette and my children bought it for me for Mother's Day. So my oldest son and my oldest daughter went in together and purchased this palette for me for Mother's Day. Purple is, you know, green's one of my favorite colors. Purple would be a very close second. And I love purples and pinks on my eyes, clearly. So this was a palette that they knew I would enjoy. You can see it has been very well loved, but it is a palette that I haven't used this year. So it would be a palette that I would be able to no pan left behind and get into my Q4 no pan left behind, and just one more palette that I would be able to add to the percentage. And so I am going to put this in here as no pan left behind as my sentimental product because my babies bought it for me for Mother's Day. The first year I was in makeup, the first high-end palette, the first luxury, I should say, palette that I ever owned. And it was a gift from my babies. The second card I picked was for the Three of Spades. And the Three of Spades this round is Mocha Mousse. Mocha Mousse is our Pantone color of the year. And I almost immediately knew what I was going to pull for this because I haven't touched it in eons. And it is just so beautiful. And it was very expensive. And it was my very first Chanel product ever. But I'm going to bring in my Chanel Les Beiges Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream, because it is, I mean, honestly, the color of mocha, but I mean, a light mocha, but it is also like, it looks like mocha. It looks like you could drink this for sure. Mocha Mousse has met its match. So that is what I am bringing in for Mocha Mousse for the Three of Spades. And then the last card I picked was the Five of Diamonds, and the Five of Diamonds was Copycat. And I have on my list, you guys will see, I don't know that I'm going to add them to Makeup Rehab this month because that'll be a really long video because I did bring in some new products for the month. But I do have a list of products in my Instagram saved folders of things that I, ooh, that is pretty. Look at me finding all these other things as I am opening this up. I do have a Love Shine Plumping Lip Oil from YSL in here. Well, the Love Shine Plumping Lip Oil, period, I really think is beautiful. But as you all know, I have been crazy in love with the color lavender lately. I did a Fantasy Self collab video on what my Fantasy Self believes is the right shade for me. Lavender was one of those shades, and not only blushes, but everything else. There is, like I said, a Love Shine lip oil. Let me pull out a picture. This is the Love Shine lip oil that I am specifically talking about. And these are oil-infused pumping lip glosses that provide juicy, glossy shine and plumper, fuller looking lips. And the lavender one is called Sandastiller, right? Sandastiller. I don't know why it's named that, but I have a lavender lip oil that is slightly, I think, brighter than that guy. And I have a lavender lip oil. I do not need that lavender lip oil, but I want it. But it's YSL, so you know it's expensive and I don't need it. So I'm bringing this one in. So I'm bringing this in for 5 times use because that is the card that we pulled for it. And I am bringing the bronzer in for 3 times use because that is the card that we pulled for it. But I'm hoping that I will get more than those many times use out of each of these items, specifically this one, because I mean, this is really pretty. I haven't even worn it yet because I don't know. I don't know why, but look at that. That is just pretty. That is just pretty. Why haven't I worn it yet? Who knows? I'm so glad that I didn't put the doe foot on my lips. But that is it. Those are the products that I pulled. So we have 5 times use out of this guy, 3 times use out of this guy, and no pen left behind on this. We still have to empty this guy, however many times use that is. And we still have to empty this guy, again, however many times use that is. And that is what we've got. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you are playing Deck of Panning, please let me know down in the comment section. I'd love to come and support you, but know that if you are in the playlist, if Emily is putting you in the playlist or you're putting yourself in the playlist, I am watching you. I just sometimes cannot respond to every single one of those videos, but I do go through that playlist every single month. So I'm watching you. That said, I would be interested to know if you're not in the playlist, how I can come support you, or what you're excited about your polls for the month, or what you hate about your polls for the month. I love you guys. I think that you're amazing. I hope that you and yours are doing well. I hope that you are all safe and healthy and getting along as best that you can. I hope that you're all loving each other, being kind humans, and living your best life. And until next time, bye friends.